Hello, friends. I'm host Eric, and welcome to Talking with Famous People. I'd like to talk to you tonight briefly about an idea that came to me today when I was driving in the car, which is a way of thinking about cognitive functions that, to me, seems revelatory. I don't know if you'll find it that or not, but here it is. It occurs to me that frequency of update is a good way to think of how high in your stack a given cognitive function is. And it's a good way to think about what it means to not have a cognitive function in your stack. So if you have something high up in your stack, that means you're going to update frequently in that particular app, so to speak. If you have FE high up in your stack, you're going to update frequently your relationship in your head. You're going to refer to it a lot. You're going to check it against a model or a standard. You're going to think about it. You're going to form a lot of rules, expectations, and other meaning-making words around those relationships. So I think it's probably true you have F high in the stack, regardless of which F it is. But this proved to be the case with my ex-wife. For example, you could interpret her need for maintenance and my frustration with that and desire to not maintain. There's been a conflict of frequency of update, so that I expected the relationship to do nothing until, until something happened, right? Well, she expected the relationship to do something because she wanted frequent updates to the status quo or the story that she had at the moment regarding the relationship. Now, in contrast, I realized I have very frequent updates to my abstract models, which is a TI thing. I don't quite understand what to think about NE in regards to this. There doesn't seem to be anything that, well, I guess you update it by beinging it. Your dominant slot is really how you be rather than what you do. And so I'd be truth. I'd be creating truth is what NE wants to do. It disrupts. It's about generating truths rather than discovering them. And in dominant slot, that means that's what I try to do. Interestingly, because the function is also a disrupt function, I am unable to find any truth I can't break apart, basically. So that's a conundrum, but whatever. Anyhow, SI now. Let's talk about SI. I think I would consider this SI. I sometimes get a little confused about SI, SE. I basically feel as though SE is using your body in space to do stuff, and SI is using stuff to put around your body. Like, this is SI stuff, and SE stuff is like going and kicking a soccer ball and shit, So, but here's a perfect example of this update, and what prompted me to think about it is I came home during lunch, and I left my laptop, or I guess it was, at some point I came home briefly, I left the laptop at work, and I got a couple things I needed from home. I got my cable that I'd forgotten. Even in multiple trips back and forth, I never did manage to bring everything I was supposed to bring to work today. I forgot this. I wasn't sure I was going to need it. I said, no, I should bring it anyway, and then I forgot it. I did end up needing it too. But I found an alternate solution that works just as well. Anyway, during that time when I came home, I put several objects here on my desk where my laptop goes. And then when I got home with my laptop eventually, I was like, what are those things there for? Well, I don't update this at all, basically. I don't say to myself, well, I do to a certain extent. Like, if I know I put something important in some certain place, that'll be in my head, but For the most part, I don't have this space mapped out in my head at all. My desk. I'm not at work thinking about my desk. I think there are some people who do, in fact, direct their attention towards exactly that priority, thinking about themselves and their objects around them and their schedule and their logistics and stuff like that. And self in time, self in space, that's SI stuff. So self in space, self as space object is SE. It's like, that's a little different, I think. So that's my thoughts at 5:45 too. Pretty quick. I think it's pretty efficient. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Talking with Famous People. Thanks for watching. I've been host Eric.